Do you think Judas Iscariot was selfish? There are questions for you at the end of the video. Please try to answer one question, if not all. Let's learn from one another.
Before we start the conversation, question 1. What are your personal thoughts on the character of Judas Iscariot? Do you lean more towards seeing him as a selfish betrayer or as someone fulfilling a larger prophecy?
So, Mark, have you ever wondered about Judas Iscariot? I mean, his story has always fascinated me. Was he really just a selfish betrayer, or was there more to his role in the grand scheme of things?
Absolutely, Sarah. Judas Iscariot is one of the most intriguing figures in biblical history. His actions have sparked endless debate and speculation over the centuries.
Exactly. On one hand, we have this image of him as the ultimate traitor, the one who sold out Jesus for a handful of silver coins. But on the other hand, some argue that his betrayal was necessary to fulfill prophecy.
That's a valid point. I mean, if Judas hadn't betrayed Jesus, would the crucifixion have happened? And if not, how would that have impacted the course of history?
It's a question that's plagued theologians and scholars for centuries. But what do you think, Mark? Do you believe Judas was acting out of selfish motives, or was he simply playing his part in God's divine plan?
Well, Sarah, it's a complex issue with no easy answers. On one hand, Judas's actions seem undeniably selfish. I mean, he willingly betrayed his teacher and friend for a measly sum of money. But on the other hand, we can't ignore the fact that his betrayal ultimately led to Jesus' crucifixion, which was necessary for the salvation of humanity.
That's true. It's almost as if Judas was a pawn in a larger cosmic game, destined to fulfill a role that had been written for him long before he was even born.
Exactly. And if we look at it from that perspective, it's hard to judge Judas too harshly. I mean, he may have been flawed and fallible like the rest of us, but his actions ultimately served a higher purpose.
So, what you're saying is that Judas was both a selfish betrayer and a fulfiller of prophecy?
Precisely. His story is a reminder that even the most seemingly insignificant actions can have far-reaching consequences, and that God's plan is often far more complex and mysterious than we can ever imagine.
Wow, Mark, you've given me a lot to think about. Judas Iscariot's story is definitely more nuanced than I ever realized.
Absolutely, Sarah. It just goes to show that there's always more to a person's story than meets the eye. And in the case of Judas Iscariot, his story is a testament to the unfathomable depths of God's grace and mercy.
Thanks for the enlightening conversation, Mark. I'll definitely be pondering this one for a while.
Anytime, Sarah. It's always a pleasure to dive into deep topics like these with you. Who knows what other mysteries we'll uncover next?
Now to the questions part. Are you ready? Question 2. How do you think Judas's actions have influenced the portrayal of his character throughout history and in popular culture? Question 3. Reflecting on the conversation between Sarah and Mark, do you believe that individuals can simultaneously play a role in both selfish actions and divine plans? Question 4. How does the story of Judas Iscariot challenge our understanding of morality and free will within the context of divine providence? Question 5. What lessons can we draw from Judas's story about the complexities of human nature and the mysteries of God's plan? Question 6. In what ways can the story of Judas Iscariot inform our own spiritual journeys and understanding of redemption and forgiveness? Question 7. Do you think Judas's story offers a cautionary tale, a message of hope, or perhaps both? Question 8. How can we apply the insights gained from examining Judas's story to our own lives and relationships, particularly in terms of trust, loyalty, and accountability? Question 9. Considering the diverse interpretations of Judas Iscariot's character, how can we navigate differing perspectives within our communities and foster respectful dialogue?